Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered, who is this person staring back at me? Or found yourself in the middle of your day thinking, I don't even recognize myself anymore? Maybe you've had moments where your emotions feel too big for your body, where anxiety appears out of nowhere, where the joy you once felt seems distant. If you're nodding right now, I want you to know something important. There's a name for what you're experiencing. And no, it's not just aging or stress. Welcome to Pleasure in the Pause, a podcast dedicated to empowering midlife women to connect to their bodies, pleasure, and power in perimenopause, menopause, and beyond. I am your host, Gabriella Espinosa, and it is my pleasure to be here with you. Today, as we observe Mental Health Awareness Month, I want to explore the profound but often overlooked connection between menopause and mental health. I want to begin with a truth that needs to be spoken. Many of you watching or listening right now are walking through your days feeling like a stranger in your own skin. You wake up wondering what happened to the woman you used to be, the joy you used to feel, the energy that once came so naturally. You've been told it's just stress, just aging, just part of being a woman in midlife. But I'm here today to tell you what no one else is saying clearly enough. This disconnection has a name. Researchers call it not feeling like myself, NFLM, and it affects 60% of women during perimenopause and menopause. This isn't all in your head. This isn't a failure of willpower or not doing enough. This is a profound neurobiological event happening in your body. Here's what I want you to understand. You are not going crazy, and it's not your new normal. Let me share something I've come to understand deeply through both my personal journey and working with countless women. When you don't feel like yourself during menopause, your body isn't betraying you, it's speaking to you. Think about it. Your entire life, hormones have been orchestrating not just your reproductive system, but your mood, your energy, your very sense of self. Estrogen receptors exist throughout your entire body, in your brain, your gut, your skin, your bones, your heart. When these hormones fluctuate and eventually decline, it impacts everything, especially the neurotransmitters that regulate your emotions, your pleasure, your motivation. I remember sitting in my car after a doctor's appointment in my early 40s, prescription for antidepressants in hand, wondering if I was really losing grip on my reality. For years, I believed I was just failing to cope with normal life stressors as a busy mom of 3 young children. I doubted myself. I just kept pushing through. But here's the revelation that changed everything for me. What I was experiencing made complete physiological sense. The anxiety that seemed to come from nowhere, the irritability that would explode into rage, the deep wells of sadness I couldn't explain, the disconnection from activities that once brought me joy. These weren't character flaws. They weren't weakness. They were my body navigating a profound transition without the support and understanding it needed. A recent study published by the Royal College of Psychiatrists at Cambridge University confirmed what women have been saying for years. Perimenopause is a time of profound mental health vulnerability, mood changes, anxiety, depression, even cognitive shifts. These aren't marginal issues. They are central to women's health. There's a particularly devastating symptom that deserves special attention: anhedonia. As leading psychiatrist Dr. Judith Joseph explains, anhedonia is a clinical term for the loss of pleasure and joy, the inability to experience delight in activities that once brought you happiness. Think about that for a moment. The music that once moved you now leaves you flat. The relationships that energized you now feel like obligations. The passions that defined you now seem distant and hollow. This isn't laziness or ingratitude. It's a neurobiological response to changing hormone levels affecting your brain's pleasure centers. When women tell me, I just don't care anymore, or nothing feels worth the effort, they're not being dramatic. They're describing anhedonia, a real, measurable change in brain function that deserves acknowledgement and treatment. In episode 30 of my podcast, I had a beautiful conversation with the therapist, Ashley Turner, who shared something that transformed my understanding. She said, depression is repression. Those words resonated with me because they capture an essential truth. What emerges during menopause isn't often new. It's often what's been buried beneath years of doing, perfectionism, coping, and being all things to all people. Our bodies have an amazing way of storing unprocessed grief and wounds. The hormonal shifts of menopause seem to dissolve the coping mechanisms that kept those feelings contained. What many women experience isn't just hormonal. It's the emergence of everything we haven't had the space to process during decades of caregiving, achieving, and managing. Today, I want to share 5 pathways that can help us navigate this transition with intention. I call these pathways to reconnection, approaching this transition not as something to endure, but as an invitation to get to know ourselves better. Pathway 1, your body holds the wisdom. The first pathway is about recognizing that your body contains profound wisdom if you're willing to listen. Movement is one of those ways to access this wisdom. Movement isn't just about staying fit during menopause. It's about reestablishing your relationship with the body that's carrying you through this transition. Finding movement you enjoy, whether it's yoga, walking, swimming, or strength training, creates a dialogue with your changing body. Even 10 minutes daily has been shown to release endorphins that boost mood and reduce anxiety. I'd like to share a simple practice that's been transformative for many of the women I work with. It's called Shake It Out. If you're able, stand up and gently start shaking your hands, your arms, your shoulders, your hips, your whole body. Just allow your whole body to shake. This simple movement releases tension, resets your nervous system, and brings you back into your body. Notice how you feel afterwards. The energy flow, the spaciousness, the renewed connection to sensation. Movement does something else remarkable. It helps release trauma and emotions stored in the body. Our muscles, fascia, and nervous system hold the memories our conscious mind has filed away. Gentle, mindful movement can be a powerful way to process and release what words alone cannot touch. Pathway number 2, pleasure is your birthright. The second pathway invites you to reclaim your connection to pleasure and joy. Our culture trains women to deprioritize their pleasure, to put everyone else first. But during this transition, reclaiming your connection to joy and sensation isn't selfish, it's necessary medicine. Remember that clinical term, anhedonia, the diminished ability to experience pleasure? Addressing this symptom isn't frivolous, it's fundamental to your well being. When we lose our capacity for joy, we lose our motivation, our creativity, our resilience, the very qualities that make life meaningful. When I talk about pleasure, I'm talking about all the ways you experience joy, satisfaction, and aliveness in your body. Listening to music that moves you, exploring creative expression, establishing rituals that honor your needs, spending time with those who fill your cup, getting outside and feeling the elements on your skin. Simple practices can help you reconnect with sensation and pleasure. Body tapping, gently tapping from your head down your body, releases stuckness and boosts energy levels. Hip circles, Smooth away tension in the pelvis and invite aliveness. Taking moments throughout your day to tune in and notice, where does my body feel good right now? As you reclaim your relationship with pleasure, you may also be healing years of disconnection from your needs, your desires, your authentic expression. This isn't about indulgence, it's about restoration of your fundamental right to experience joy and satisfaction. Pathway number 3, nourishment is more than food. The third pathway is about recognizing that how you nourish yourself during this transition matters deeply. Your brain is experiencing significant changes in this season, and it needs proper support. Eating a balanced diet and prioritizing protein helps fuel energy and stabilize emotions. I've found that incorporating Mediterranean inspired eating, rich in phytoestrogens from seeds and legumes, essential fats from olive oil and fish, provides the nutrients my changing brain needs. But nourishment goes beyond food. It's about hydration, rest, sunlight, and the quality of what you consume mentally and emotionally as well. Ask yourself, am I nourishing myself in a way that supports this transition, or am I depleting myself? Your honest answer will guide you toward what you truly need. Pathway number 4, the inner work of menopause. The fourth pathway involves what I call the inner work of menopause, perhaps the most profound and transformative aspect of this journey. In many traditional cultures, menopause was a time when women gathered together, sharing wisdom and support. Yet in our modern world, we're often isolated during this very transition when we need connection most. Building your support system isn't a luxury, it's essential medicine. This might mean journaling to process your feelings, joining a community of women who understand, working with a coach or therapist who specializes in midlife transitions, or practicing daily mindfulness. This inner work isn't optional, it's the core of what menopause is inviting us to do. As Ashley Turner so wisely shared in our conversation in episode 30, this transition often requires deep inner work to unearth all that we've been bearing. After years of decades of doing, perfecting, coping, and being all things to all people, our bodies say enough. This journey inwards isn't always comfortable. It requires courage to face the unprocessed grief, the wounds, the sacrifices, and the deferred dreams that may surface. This is precisely why the support of a skilled therapist or coach can be invaluable during this time. Someone who can walk beside you and hold up a mirror to your beliefs creates a container for this transformation. When we're in the midst of change, we often can't see our own patterns, our own stories, our own limiting beliefs. A skilled guide can illuminate what we cannot see on our own. This isn't about fixing what's broken. It's about witnessing and supporting what's emerging. A good therapist or coach doesn't just help you manage symptoms, they help you interpret the messages your changing body and emotions are sending. They help you distinguish between what truly belongs to you and what you've been carrying for others. They stand witness to your unfolding and reflect back to you your own wisdom and strength. Remember, the emotions you're experiencing aren't irrational. They're your psyche processing not just hormonal changes, but perhaps a lifetime of accommodations and compromises that no longer serve you. The inner work of menopause is about reclaiming the parts of yourself that got lost along the way. Pathway 5, medical support as self-advocacy. The fifth pathway is about recognizing that seeking proper medical support isn't giving in. It's standing up for yourself. For too long, women have been offered band-aid solutions for symptoms without addressing the underlying hormonal changes. Finding the right menopause care and exploring all options, including hormone therapy, can be transformative. Let me speak clearly about hormone therapy because there's so much fear and misinformation surrounding it. Dr. Pauline Mackey's groundbreaking research has shown that when prescribed appropriately and at the right time, hormone therapy doesn't just address hot flashes, it can significantly improve cognitive function. Her studies reveal that women who begin treatment early in menopause experience improved verbal memory and executive function, essentially, their ability to think clearly, plan effectively, and judge multiple tasks. This research explains why hormone therapy can help lift the brain fog that makes so many of us question our competence during this transition. The Cambridge University study I mentioned earlier also highlighted something crucial. Estradiol therapy has proven effective for treating perimenopausal depression, working well either alone or combined with traditional antidepressants. This makes perfect sense when we understand how deeply connected our hormones are to our brain chemistry. For years, mixed messages about hormone therapy have left midlife women confused and unsure about their choices. Between the conflicting headlines and outdated medical advice, it's no wonder so many of us feel lost when considering this option. That's why I invited registered nurse, menopause educator, and women's health expert Jill Chmielewski to join me for an in-depth conversation about hormone therapy. If you'd like to dive deeper into this topic, you can find our full discussion on my YouTube channel. I'll include a link in this episode below. Jill does a masterful job separating fact from fiction and providing practical guidance for navigating those important health decisions. For many women, the benefits of hormone therapy extend beyond cognition to improved mood, better sleep quality, increased energy, reduced joint pain, and yes, a renewed capacity for pleasure. Appropriate hormone therapy helps restore the delicate neurochemical balance that supports all these aspects of well-being. I encourage you to approach your healthcare with the same determination you'd bring to any important decision in your life. Ask questions, seek multiple opinions if necessary. Find a provider who understands that the benefits of appropriate hormone therapy often outweigh the risks when prescribed correctly and at the right time. This isn't about medicating away a natural process. It's about supporting your body through a significant transition with the tools modern medicine has to offer. Before we close, I'd like to offer you a simple practice. Something you can use anytime you're feeling overwhelmed, disconnected, or simply in need of clarity. This season of life isn't a slow fade into invisibility. It's an invitation to reconnect with yourself, your desires, and the pleasures that remind you you're alive. The stress, numbness, and the feeling of being off is not who you are. It's your nervous system and body asking for support. One of the most profound ways to offer that support is through your heart. Your heart is much more than a physical organ. It's remarkably intuitive, responsive, and deeply connected to every part of you. It's a center of wisdom, holding your deepest longings and clearest truths. Don't worry, you don't have to be a yogi or deep spiritual seeker to access this. Your breath, awareness, and presence are all pathways in. This support you're deeply craving can start with something as simple as this. Place your hands over your heart, close your eyes, and take a couple of deep breaths. Ask yourself, what do I really need right now? Listen with curiosity to what your body, heart, and mind are telling you. This is how we come home to ourselves, how we remember what matters. I invite you to try this practice whenever you feel lost in the noise of symptoms, emotions, or outside opinions. Your heart knows the way forward. It always has. What if we've been looking at menopause all wrong? What if instead of a decline, it's actually an ascension? Research has begun to reveal something fascinating about the postmenopausal brain. After the fluctuations settle, many women experience enhanced connectivity between emotional processing and higher reasoning centers, what might be understood as a neurological basis of wisdom. Throughout history, postmenopausal women have held positions of leadership and guidance in their communities. Perhaps there's a reason for that beyond social convenience. Perhaps this transition, while challenging, is preparing you for a new level of clarity, purpose, and impact. As my friend Ashley Turner suggests, the depression many women experience might indeed be repression surfacing, not to torment us, but to finally be acknowledged, processed, and released. This liberation from old wounds and limiting beliefs creates space for something new to emerge. I know this to be true in my own life. The woman I am now on the other side of this transition has a level of self knowledge, boundary clarity, and authentic power that my younger self couldn't access. What felt like loss was actually a shedding of what no longer served me. In this Mental Health Awareness Month, I want to emphasize something crucial. Seeking support for your mental well being during menopause isn't an admission of weakness, it's a profound act of self care and wisdom. The brain and body changes you're experiencing are real. The struggle isn't a character flaw, and the support you deserve isn't a luxury. Most importantly, practice self compassion as you navigate this shift. Be as kind to yourself as you would be to a dear friend facing the same challenges. This isn't weakness or failure. It's one of the most significant transitions a human body can experience. If what I'm sharing resonates with you, if you're ready to transform your relationship with menopause and reclaim your well being, I've created something really special. If you'd like to go deeper, I'd love to invite you into the Midlife Pleasure Collective, my sacred monthly membership space where women in midlife come together to reconnect with their sensuality, ignite their confidence, and come home to their bodies. Inside, we explore powerful mind body practices to build emotional resilience and cultivate pleasure. Receive expert guidance and gather in supportive community so you don't have to do this alone. And this week, in recognition of Mental Health Awareness Week, when you join, you'll receive a free 30-day access pass to gift another woman in your life, a sister, a daughter, a friend, because these conversations are meant to be shared. Join us at pleasureinthepause.com/collective or click the link below in the show notes. Within this community, you'll find the support to process what's surfacing, reclaim your connection to pleasure, and transform this transition into a powerful evolution. We work with the body's wisdom, address the neurobiological changes of menopause, and create space for the emergence of your most authentic self. Want to help me spread more pleasure in the world? Please hit subscribe to this channel and share this video with a woman in your life. This helps widen our community of support and get this information into the hands and hearts of more women who need it. Whatever path you choose, remember this: you are not alone. What you're experiencing makes complete sense. And this transition, while challenging, can lead you to a deeper, more authentic expression of who you truly are. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which of these pathways resonates most? What's been your experience with the mental health aspects of menopause? Thank you for spending this time with me. I am honored to walk this path with you. Until next time, be gentle with yourself and remember, your pleasure matters.